This is a story of VLAN, Virtual Local Area Network, exclusively on constructing VLAN with trunking and simple network. There are 4 main steps involved in building a complete and working VLAN. It is super easy. Let's follow the steps one by one so that we can configure it by ourselves. Today we will create a simple topology involving 1 router, 2 switches and 3 VLAN. For better management, we change the host name of each device accordingly. Then we can continue to create the VLAN. Starts with our first VLAN. Use ID of VLAN 10 and name it as STAF. Now we create the second VLAN. Use VLAN ID as 20 as name it as guest. The final VLAN we create is the management VLAN with 99 as the VLAN ID. This management VLAN is used for remote switch access. Give the IP address for the management VLAN 99. When we want to later access the switch from remote, we will need to use this IP address. Repeat the same configuration on switch 2, the same VLAN ID and the same VLAN name. The only difference is we change the management VLAN 99 IP address to 1.1.1.2. Now we are in step 2. We will assign dedicated ports for each VLAN. Based on our topology, assign port FA0 halves as mode access for VLAN 10. Then assigned FA0 thirds as mode access for VLAN 20. This step must be applied both on switch 1 and switch 2. Now we are in step 3. We need to configure trunking to allow VLAN traffic to travel between multiple switches. Trunking also allowed all the VLANs to use single line to communicate between switch to router. In switch 2, configure interface FA0/1 as the trunking to allow communication between switch 1 and 2. In switch 1, configure interface FA0/1 as the trunking to allow communication between switch 1 and 2. Then, configure interface G0/1 as the trunking to allow communication between switch 1 and 2 through router. Now is our last step, configuring the router to enable inter-VLAN routing. Inter-VLAN routing purpose is to allow different network to communicate effectively. First, go to the configuration terminal on router. We start with enabling the G0/1 interface. Then we create the sub-interface based on the VLAN ID. Each sub-interface must be implemented with encapsulation.1q feature. Then only it can be enabled with the inter-VLAN routing protocol. For our topology, we need to create 2 sub-interface, one for VLAN 10 and another for VLAN 20. Use the IP address of the sub-interface as our default gateway. Configure 10.1.10.1 as the IP address for sub-interface G0/1.10. Then configure the IP address for sub-interface G0/1.20 as 10.1.10.2. Now we have completed our VLAN and inter-VLAN configuration. We can verify it at the switch terminal. Use the show VLAN brief command and check the output shown. Make sure it shows all the VLAN and interfaces involved. Next, we will be using command prompt terminal. Go to PC1 and check its IP address using ipconfig command. Then use ping command. From PC1, we ping to IP address of staff 2 PC and guest 2 PC. Make sure it gets a complete reply. Congrats! We have successfully configured a simple network with VLAN capabilities. A VLAN, Virtual Local Area Network, is essentially a way to partition a single physical network switch into multiple, isolated virtual switches to improve security and performance.